Hey guys, welcome to another GTA 5 gameplay commentary. This particular video is going to consist of 3 non-contact races that pretty much I did absolutely horrible in, and you guys can see from this point of view as to how to sort of recover in these situations if you ever get into them. Sort of learn from the, the things that I do, I suppose, instead of me just posting gameplays where I just dominate in, as that would be pretty boring to watch. Yeah, I suppose for most of you this is quite a self-explanatory and straightforward and obvious things, but obviously everyone's different out there who watch my videos at different skill levels, so I'm just trying to help and do my best to do that from providing content. So yeah, quickly recapping on the video that I made a couple days ago with the LG RH8, which was pretty controversial in the comment section. I even showed a Rockstar dev that video and he read through the comments and whatnot, which sort of was to sort of seeing the comments and seeing how people were reacting and stuff like that. It was pretty crazy. A lot of love was shown to the LG. I think people misunderstood the video completely. So first things first, we came to the agreement. I was speaking to the Rockstar dev, and at first, they were going to nerf or tweak the LG, but then because everyone was complaining in the comments, they're not going to be doing that now. They're going to be moving the LG to the supercar category within racing. So that's the only change that's going to be made. So I suppose it's a win-win for everyone in that, sort of hates the LG and likes the LG. So hopefully everyone's cool with that, of it moving to the supercar section. And all should be good. Nothing's going to be changed with the performance. That's confirmed. So yeah. So anyway, this particular race you're watching right now, this was the first day of release of Non-Contact within the High Life update. We were just testing it out. I believe this was a 5-track short playlist. And I was 1 point behind the leader, who's currently in the lead of this particular race. The reason why I put myself in the situation in the first place, because I kept missing checkpoints on some of these tracks that were not made by me. One thing I always make sure when I create tracks is to make sure the placement of the checkpoints are sort of appropriate, because I don't want to force drivers to take lines that they're not comfortable with on a corner, and that's very important when creating a track. Unfortunately, the person that made these particular tracks wasn't paying close attention to a few of the checkpoints, so I had to sort of force myself in the first corner to take a line that I did not want to take. So yeah, that was unfortunate, but I had to fight myself way back from last position, from the dude that was in the first place the whole time, which was quite interesting. But fair enough, everyone was sort of getting used to the non-contact environment. I believe at this stage, everyone sort of were getting used to the Zentorno as well. That guy was pretty careless. I think people just tend to get nervous when people are catching them up. One thing that I love about non-contact racing, you can apply pressure at the same time, sort of defend yourself with the pressure that you're receiving from the backside. So, it's all about consistency, composure, and sort of reaction time as well, to do with GTA 5. The reason why I say reaction time is because the supercars with custom vehicles on, the car goes flying, literally, to the point where it's just unrealistic racing, which I love about this game. That sort of unrealistic racing feel was there, and so most of it is to do with sort of quick thought processes and reaction time as to when to use your brakes on a sharp corner after going really fast on a straight, and this and obviously choosing the right lines and controlling the car throughout that time, and all of this applies to GTA racing, which I love about it. And of course I'm going to talk a little bit about Zentorno, because that is now official. Is that it's officially the best supercar in the game. And the thing I love about it is that you have to, the only way to dominate the entity with a Zentorno is to choose and to actually execute lines that can only be done with the Zentorno and no other car. Because if you choose the same lines as the guy that is driving an entity with the Zentorno, you won't be able to do well with the Zentorno. So with that being said, what I'm trying to say is that because the car is really big and heavy, a lot of people do complain that it's pretty difficult to execute and maneuver corners properly. You need to sort of figure out lines which will, in a way, benefit the Zentorno more than other cars. So the only way the Zentorno will benefit the corners is if you straighten up really quickly, like really quick after a corner. That's the only way the acceleration will kick in to be able to maintain your lead. And this way, if you can control that in every single one of these corners while taking appropriate lines, the entity will not be able to keep up. It's that simple. So regardless of the track, Zentorno will dominate anything. So that's crazy, absolutely crazy. Because it's funny, because I was actually doubting this car on the day of release. Took me a couple hours to get used to. Once I got used to it, I pretty much haven't lost a race yet with this car. It's crazy. My only competitor at the moment was Picano, who was pretty much right on my arse on this race. Well, not on my arse at the moment, but you'll see I make a really stupid mistake, I believe, on the second to last lap. You will notice that everything seems to be fine on this race. You know, everything seems to, this is one of my tracks, by the way, where, you know, it consists of a lot of tight roads. I mean, that's pretty much what I do for my non-contact races. But I still manage to do them easily with the Zentorno. As long as, here's the thing, if you know how to use the car, man, you will do absolutely well with it. I mean, the car has a lot of potential, but if you can reach those potentials, then you're unstoppable. It's that simple. I think I'm about to lap someone here. It's absolutely crazy that if you can lap someone on contact racing, is ridiculous. I've seen a lot of people DNFing as well, which is something that really frustrates me at the same time. But hey, it is what it is. That's something you deal with. Look at that. So I tried to cut the corner, which I must admit, that was my fault. Sticking to the road is always the best thing in racing. So you can see that I lost my position completely. And Picano is a really good driver. You know, it's only sort of my competitor at the moment on the PS3. I'm sort of disappointed in a way with non-contact, not because of the game, game mode itself and the option. It's just the players. It's just one of those things. It's not. I expected it to be 16 players at the end of the race, but that's not always the case these days. Always seems to be just 3 or 2 players at the finish line every time, and that frustrates me in a way because I want it to be more competitive. But unfortunately, people just, I suppose, don't put that extra sort of concentration that is required for non-contact racing to play. I suppose with these corners, a lot of people are just sort of careless, I suppose, and very sort of cautious in a way in which they don't want to make mistakes, because mistakes can be easily made, because now every mistake is sort of put on yourself, your own responsibility, as no one else should be blamed except for lampposts. Obviously, lampposts is one of those things that could be frustrating, especially if someone's in front of you and they hit the lamppost, and it will affect your speed, and it may even tip your car over. So you can see here, perfect example, tight corners. Zentorno is pretty much demolishing the entity. You'll see here what happens. Zentorno's acceleration kicks in, final corner, brake, accelerate, bang, straight inside corner for the finish line. Lap time, absolutely insane. The best lap was exactly the same for both me and Picano. That was crazy, actually. I don't know how we managed to do that, but you can see there with both of us making mistakes, I suppose, and not the best laps. You see here, one thing with ghosting is that it's really difficult at times when cars are on top of each other to actually sort of get any sort of idea of where your car is at certain points. So I sort of misjudged that turn, thinking that I was someone else's car. So that got a bit confusing, and that's not an excuse. You know, that's definitely not an excuse to be said all the time. That's something is to do with adapting to the sort of non-contact environment. Definitely made a silly mistake there. But yeah, definitely in this particular race, you'll see someone else called Z Wonder, who pretty much is the dominant player on this particular track, currently in the lead right now. So I had to fight myself from that awful start to be able to sort of recover in these situations. And the only reason why I'm able to catch up to the players is because I'm sort of, you know, choosing the right lines here, executing the corners properly. Like a lot of people sort of, you know, tend to panic in these situations. That person, wow, that corner that he just cut there was insane. He was able to get a better line on this particular corner to be able to take the lead against Mackin, who's currently, they're on top of each other having butt sex there. But, you know, this is another short track, so to do with, holy shit, that guy just hit the tree. So yeah, that sort of confusion that you get if you're on top of another car. You won't sort of get the positioning of where you are on the road. That was pretty unfortunate for him. He was pretty much competing for the #1 spot there. But yeah, this dude here in front of me is pretty much one of the best on this track. So it's really, really important for me to keep my composure now for the final lap. But yeah, I absolutely love non-contact racing. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want to see some live versions of these races instead of me commentating over them. I don't know, I wanted to post this video just to sort of show you guys that it's really, really competitive when people set their mind to it. Definitely, if you get 16 people with the right mindset, it will be interesting. I've seen races so far, you know, when I've been doing non-contact racing, about 5 people at the finish line with photo finishes. That was pretty epic as well. I haven't got any footage of that yet though, so I'm gonna try, you know, definitely do my best to get the players that really want to compete in these environments. If you're on the PS3, then holler at me, because that's the main platform that I play GTA 5 on. Hopefully next gen, you know, everything will be swell on the PS4. There's a lot more people and a bigger community for GTA 5. But yeah, right now you see when approaching the end, it was absolutely tense. I believe I took a better line than him for that particular corner and accelerated straight through. But then for some reason he got extra speed on this part here, so he was able to just sort of slowly creeping up on me on the backside. But fortunately for me, the finish line was just there, so that was a pretty close finish as well. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is just me sort of recapping and talking to you about non-contact, showing you some non-contact footage. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys missed out the previous episode of Car v Car, check it out. Link sort of there on the screen, annotation. I'll see you there. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys hit the like button. I would greatly appreciate it. I'll see you guys soon. Check it out. Good night. Peace. Yeah.